morning, friends. Today we'll discuss about the firewall types part 2. Already we have discussed what is firewall and their types in part 1. Now remaining firewall types we'll discuss in part 2. So this one is a proxy firewall. We know that proxy which will hide the what you consider as the IP. It will send the different IP to the receiver. So that this is also one beneficial point we have used in proxy firewall. So it will look for both packet and handshake and perform deep layer packet inspection. We know that deep layer packet inspection where it will see the contents of the packet, whether they contain some malware or not. So biggest benefit I told that it will hide the user IP address. But due to this lot of work, we can find it will consume more resources and somewhat slows down this particular transfer of packets from our inside network to outside or outside to inside. So by looking to this diagram, we can understand our proxy server it will act at the particular in between this inside and outside network. So it will this outside network will never knows the internal client's IP, from which client IP it is getting that particular information. So it is the best benefit we can find in the proxy firewall. Second one is a software firewall where we can see that. So in every local system we can install this firewall. It may happen that different systems can use different firewall within every system, and we can consider that it will check the endpoint. Again it can check the incoming and outgoing traffic, and if in between networks also, if we attach it or we save it this particular software, so we can see that it will monitor the particular individual network endpoints from one another also. So we can find it is cheaper. So ideally it is suitable for home use, so we can find but consume some resources by using this software firewall. Then we have the hardware firewall where we can see that some type of hardware device we can connect in between our particular inside and outside network. So whatever packets will come from inside or outside, they will checked by this hardware firewall, and it will check that packets which are going in between this particular endpoints. So due to this hardware, we can find a cost one point which find somewhat more compared to other, and again physical space and involve wiring also by using this hardware firewall. So if you look at this diagram, we can find our internet untrusted. We can consider here it may reside and you can send through this particular firewall. So here our firewall will do our all check whatever incoming and outgoing traffic, and this is our private network where our confidential clients are exchanging the information. So next is the cloud firewall where we can consider related to the cloud security. We can find whatever services it will provide. So somewhat somewhere we can find the term also firewall as a service. So whatever data which will be exchanged between the user and the cloud, which can be secured by this our particular cloud firewall. So due to the more inspection of this particular traffic in the cloud firewall, again somewhat throughput, what we consider as output, not that much faster as we consider, but still we can find it's better that firewalls are more secure. Already they are using encryption, but still this is also more beneficial by using this cloud firewall. So we can see this diagram, customer and customer B are there and they are accessing this particular internet. So we can find here our cloud platform will work, which will monitor the incoming and outgoing traffic between this customer and internet. So next is the stateful multi-layer inspection firewall. This is again most important, where in last part one we have discussed about the stateless firewall, where it will not store any inputs, whatever the connections between the network or between the devices. But this stateful multi-layer inspection firewall will store in a state table that every information related to the connections between this which two devices it is connection is happening, their addresses, their information, everything. So that we can see that it is again very uh, best we can consider related to the but we can see that again storing will take a time, so that we can consider that is what the overhead actually we can find, but it is better compared to other or stateless firewall, because it contains every data like a patterns. You will see that between the connections, and if any problem you can take the immediate action in this stateful multi-layer inspection firewalls. So this is what by diagram we can understand our internet and our user, and here we can store every connection between this particular user and outside network maintained in a state table. So whenever it will see that any illegitimate things are happening, it will check the state table and it will take some action whether to continue the connection or drop the connection. So this one is the DMZ firewall, demilitarized firewall we can consider. So it will we can find the demilitarized firewall where outside network, inside network, in between that DMZ firewall, we can find, or we can zone we can consider between these two firewalls. So both inside network will go through the internal firewall and external request also goes through the firewall, and both at the both the ends this check will happen. So again we can find this is again good firewall related to the demilitarized zone. So again we can see that internal network also some restrictions, because they have to pass through this internal firewall and then they have to use this whatever servers are there, HTTP or FTP servers. Then they have to go through this we can consider as external firewall. So every at the both the ends we will monitor this whatever coming and going in before actually they are connecting to the internal network. So this is again a very best firewall related to the this area we can consider in between. This is the DMZ, wherein here is our FTP server. This one is the again next generation firewall nowadays we use, where it will take the lot of what you consider as measures for making the generation firewalls, like encrypting traffic inspection, then intrusion prevention systems before anything should occur. They will take care that what actions they can take. So it is like not the detection, it is a prevention. Before the things can occur, it will take measures. Then again we can see that updated antiviruses as well as deep inspection of header and data, that is also included. Again malwares also they can find in the packets. Again we can see that handshakes are also we can find. So in this next generation firewalls, it's a combination of more measures for making the better connection between the trusted and trusted network, trusted clients we can consider. So this is a we can find a best again next generation firewall nowadays we can consider this. So by looking to the diagram, we can find, see here, our firewall having various systems like intrusion prevention system. They have antiviruses are there. Then we can find web filtering, VPN is also there, email security, application control. So various parameters they have added to get the more secure communication between our client and inside network or outside network, client or client or receiver, client and receiver. So this is related to the all firewalls which you find normally in use. So we can find this firewalls will prevent the attacks which will occur from the hackers in our private network. So according to the situations, according to the criteria of the company, we can use any firewall according to our work, and we can secure our private network. Thank you.